Welcome back to Character Select. Tyler, Malhavoc.
Sorcery 2, the city board of traps.
We are approaching this building that we have decided to investigate. It's apparently old and run down and doesn't seem like anyone lives here yet. Anyway, we're approaching the building. You stride up to the middle of the yard when suddenly something knocks into you from behind, sending you sprawling across the dirt. You spin around to see a giant bat towering over you, its clawed wings spread wide with bloodied talons.
Cast a spell.
Boy, that's a abrupt start to the episode, isn't it?
Yeah, no kidding. Walk forward and get mauled by a bat. It's like, where the fuck did you come from? It's not even nighttime.
Alright, so we have... We have Doze. We can make it go slow. We have Dumb, or Dud, which is the illusion of treasure, which I feel a giant bat would love. Dumb makes it clumsy. We have, G, A, K. We can make them fearful if we had a black face mask. God is the illusion of worship. Gum, which makes glue.
Now, does that consume the vial of glue?
That one does consume the vial of glue. It is like pop, where it consumes the pebble.
The actual thing.
Yes. But those are your options if you would like to use a spell.
Doze, was that one of the options? Yeah, we'll go ahead and cast Doze.
Cool. You cast a spell and the bat begins to move extremely slowly, its wings beating like the waving of a flag in a vague breeze. Somehow, it still manages to stay airborne, but it will be much easier to kill now. You draw your sword quickly and engage the creature. And this little shit, like, holy crap, you are going to die so hard.
Ka-thunk.
Like, I can just keep doing it. Like, just fuck this thing. Like, eat shit.
Yeah, it can't outswing you at all.
It cannot. Like, even if I keep doing, like, the max to, like, beat its bar, like, it cannot beat me. So then I just chop it in half. Another chance follows. You cleave the air with your sword and the bat falls to the ground and the light in its eyes goes dark.
No stamina lost. Flawless fighting. Flawless victory.
You turn to face the house once more. The front door is as wide as two men and stands imposingly sealed. A small path winds around the back of the house. Would you like to, A, go to the main junction, B, go to the door, or C, the path at the back?
Let us check the door.
The door.
Unless that...
Shut up, dog.
...flag will just drop me into hell.
That'd be nice. You stride up the steps to the door of the grand house. Would you like to knock on the door, try the door, or cast a spell?
Knock on the door. I don't know if anyone lives here. Yeah, no one answers.
You walk up to the door and knock just to make sure. No one answers. Would you like to knock again? Maybe they didn't hear you. It's a big house. Maybe they haven't gotten to you yet.
Why not? Knock a second time.
You knock a second time, louder. As you wait to see if you will be answered, you notice a curious detail. There are deep grooves carved into the wood of the door, radiating outwards from the keyhole. It is as though something had exploded out through it, or perhaps attached itself on the outside to force its way in through the lock. A slate skitters off the roof and smashes itself on the ground to one side of you.
Something had exploded out through it? Or forced its way in?
Inside. But it's a keyhole, so it's like...
Okay, we'll try the door, see if it even opens. Because if it's missing its lock... Oh, well...
You try the door. Locked, of course. So we can look through the keyhole, break down the door, which probably isn't the best idea, or we can just cast Dop, if we have it.
Yeah, let's see if we've got Dop, because I don't want to stick my eye up to that, because I have a feeling if something exploded out of that...
Alright, looks like we have Dop. Would you like to cast Dop?
Yep. Let's stop it.
Alright, we cast the spell, but a locked door is of no consequence to a mighty sorcerer such as thyself.
Once you have woven your spell,
The great oak door complains once, and then gives way, swinging open to reveal a dark hallway beyond.
Go inside.
We step inside the great stone house. A cold silence descends, quite different from the dusty heat outside. This place feels like it has not been lived in for decades, although judging by the lack of dust, it may not have been quite so long. Floorboards creak underfoot, and at the end of the hallway is a sealed door. Is that a chink of light just visible beneath the frame? Also, if you listen very closely to this,
you can hear heartbeats.
You can hear heartbeats. Spooky.
House isn't
Look at the
alive
lights
and
you
gonna
said.
eat me. Yeah.
Maybe.
Look at the light.
Have you ever read the Dark Tower series by Stephen King?
Yes.
You remember the house that tries to eat the kid?
Yes.
Maybe this house is like that.
Please no.
Alright. The light beneath the door flickers, now bright, now faint, as though a figure paced back and forth, its shadow coming and going, but you hear no footsteps.
Creep forwards.
Love the ambience these heartbeats are giving you here.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way along the corridor. The walls on either side are lined with large portraits of dusty-looking men and sour-faced women who sneer at you as you pass.
Look at the paintings.
The figures in the paintings are all finely dressed, but they also have knife scars on their faces and nicks in their ears. These must be the thief kings of Kare's murky past. You pass a large metal coal scuttle sitting against the left-hand wall.
Look in the scuttle.
You stop to look in the scuttle, but the inside is blackened, and in the darkness it seems as though an infinitely deep pit was contained inside.
I wish to light it up and look in it. I don't want to stick my hand. I'm gonna stick my hand in this hole, see what's in there.
I'm just gonna stick my hand right in. It's fine. There ain't no, hand-eating demons inside. It'll be great.
I guess I want to know if I can pull anything out, so we'll try it.
Alright. You are not afraid. You reach into the scuttle, blind. The scuttle feels empty. Then your finger touches something sharp. So sharp, it stings.
Did they leave a sword in there?
Oh no, do you want to search for it?
I guess.
You feel around the scuttle, searching for the object. Then you find it, earning another sharp prick.
What the fuck?
Keep feeling around?
I guess. What the hell?
You keep feeling around, and then have a clear sense that something is
climbing
up your arm to your wrist.
What the fuck?
In the darkness, you can see nothing, so you grope about with your other hand to try and work out what the creature is, but you feel a stinging pain in your other hand.
A snake, yeah.
A moment later, you feel the same biting sensation on your neck, but that's when you realize there is still something wrapped around your hands as well, a snake.
Come on, man. How did you not know it's a snake at the first? A snake is not sharp.
Well, its teeth are.
Yes, but you're gonna feel it snap. Fuck you, Steve Jackson. We'll go ahead and kill it.
I'm sorry, I love that line that you said. Because I watch these people who stream these things, and the books they run are by Ian Livingstone, who's Steve Jackson's partner. And one of their memes that they always use is for fuck's sake, Ian.
Yeah, pretty much. For fuck's sake.
Right, kill
for
it.
fuck's sake,
Yep.
Steve.
You make to raise your sword and kill the beast, but it has wrapped itself tightly around your wrists, and now you cannot move your arms at all. You've had enough of this torture in the dark. You race out of the house and back into the sunshine.
The fuck,
now,
man?
I can let you rewind if you would like.
Because we won't be able to go back inside.
Correct. Would you like to use one of your three rewinds?
We will rewind that, because that is retarded.
Alright, we're going to rewind to just before you open the coal scuttle.
Yeah. Insert rewind noise. Look towards the light, creep forwards. Look at the paintings.
walk past the coal.
Well, we look in the
coal scuttle
and then leave
it.
Yeah. All
right. Jim, delete one of Malhavoc's 3 rewinds. Thank you.
All right.
And just so you know, for the future, that's 3 throughout this entire series, not per book.
Okay, wow. That's intense.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I guess if we die, then we can start over.
We'll see. Alright. You've reached the far end of the hall. It is only a short way from the entrance, but all is now in shadow. The only light comes from the gap around the frame of the door in front of you. More darkness wells up to the right, and you can just make out the first few steps of a flight of stairs leading away upwards to the second level of the house. Would you like to, A, climb the stairs and go upstairs, or B, enter the study?
And the study's where we saw the light coming from, correct?
Yes. There's supposed to be a door here.
Yeah, I was like, where's the door?
I do like this guy's maps, though. Mike Schley is great.
Yeah, he's got some great... I mean, I love the design of it. It's
it's just really... I don't know. I really like him. Anyway.
We will enter the study.
Alright. You push open the door and enter a wide, paneled room with a thick carpet. It is a study of some kind. The source of the light under the doorframe becomes quickly apparent. A roaring fire burns in an enormous grate on one side of the room. Would you like to A, look around, or B, go over to the fire?
Look around.
You search around the room. The furniture is grand, carved and stained and inlaid with patterns of goblin bone. How do you know it's goblin bone?
I know, right?
Whatever. But there are no possessions to be seen, no ornaments, no jewels, no treasure, and no sign of the owner. It is as if whoever lived here had moved out, or more likely, as though the place had been thoroughly robbed. With the door shut, you would expect this room to be swelteringly hot, but, like the rest of the house, it is icy cold.
Go over.
Would you like to leave the room or go over to the fire?
Over to the fire.
You go over to the fire to warm your hands, only to find it emits no heat at all. It burns no fuel either. The enormous grate, large enough to roast a whole boar, is entirely empty of wood, ash, or coal. But the flames are nonetheless brilliant and as high as a man.
Look into the flames.
Peering deeper at the base of the fire, you see there is definitely nothing burning there. The flames spring into life a finger's width above the grate. They are so bright you can make out nothing beyond, but it seems the hearth goes back some distance.
What the hell?
Step into the hearth or leave the room?
Yeah, but there's no... It denied me the chance to cast a spell after looking at it? You bitch. Damn it, Steve. Getting tired of your shit. Step into the hearth, I guess. Maybe it's an illusionary fire.
Stealing your courage, you duck your head and step into the grate. The flames surround you, their crackles whispering in your ears as though you stood in a pit of snakes, but you feel no heat. Your skin does not blister and your clothing does not ignite. You stand in the middle of the fire like some kind of demon and feel no ill effects at all. From here, you can see that the hearth extends backwards, much further than you might expect. Is it a tunnel? Or do you stand inside a trap, its jaws about to spring shut? You can go forward or turn back.
Go forward.
You creep forward across the grate, through the flames and beyond. Through the fire and the flames, we carry on. Into a low stone alcove hidden by the fire. The walls are made of solid slabs of stone, and there is nothing here, no treasure, no secret doors. On the far wall are a strange set of markings, a series of long grooves, like scratches, radiating outwards from a small hole. Would you like to feel the grooves in the wall, go back to the study, or cast a spell?
Feel the grooves.
You run your fingers through the grooves on the stone wall. They are a lot like the grooves you saw around the keyhole of the front door. They have been carved lightly and roughly, with a dagger point rather than a chisel, perhaps. But the small hole at their center is much more cleanly formed.
wonder if we can cast DOP on it. See if we've got DOP available.
Alright. We will see if we have DOP. We do have a D, we do have an O, and we do have a P.
Yay.
Would you like to cast DOP?
Yep.
You cast the spell across the grooved wall in front of you, but nothing happens. Perhaps it's not a door after all. Or perhaps it is locked with a fearsome magic your own spell cannot overcome. It is impossible, to be sure.
Examine the small hole.
You put one finger in the hole. You cannot find the bottom of it, and it seems polished and smooth. It looks like the bolt hole you might find in the stonework of a fortress doorway, except for its position in the middle of the blank wall.
A keyhole?
You look through your pack for something to use as a key, but you find nothing.
So we don't have. So go back to the study then. I have a feeling we should
clamber back out of the fireplace and into the study, no wiser for explorations.
Bummer.
Emerging from the fireplace, you make to brush yourself clean of soot, but find there is none. The fire crackles and spits, but strangely quietly. Such a large blaze.
So I have a feeling the key. We could have gotten it earlier, maybe upstairs. So let's go.
You head out of the room and back into the corridor. A chill breeze drifts from the stairwell. Yeah, maybe like if we'd gone upstairs first. But
yeah.
We can check upstairs or we can leave.
Let's check upstairs.
Maybe once we get search up here, we can go back into the study. Who knows?
Maybe. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You place your foot on the first step of the stairwell and suddenly begins to move. Is it alive? Some kind of thin, flat beast? Or is it a trap?
Jump back.
You jump back in alarm. The shadows seem to churn and the steps of the staircase creak and groan, though you cannot make out what is happening. After a minute or so, the noise stops in the hallway. It's still once more.
Try again.
Would you like to try again? Okay. More boldly, you put your foot on the stair once more. Again, it begins to move with a gentle lifting motion. Perhaps it is not a beast. Perhaps it is some sort of mechanism.
Stay still and try to balance.
You stop dead still as the stair moves underneath you and try to balance. It is not easy. You are definitely rising into the air, curving around the bends in the staircase as you go. As you reach the top, you see a corridor appearing, almost close enough to jump for. Would you like to jump or wait a little longer?
Wait just a little longer.
You wait a moment longer. The stair beneath your feet continues to rise. What will happen when it reaches the top? Will it crush you against the ceiling?
Oh gosh. So it's just the one stair lifting you up.
Seems that way.
I guess we'll jump off.
Oh. The upstairs corridor is close enough to grab. You jump for it. The speed of the moving stair is enough that you misjudge your landing a little, but not seriously. You very slightly twist your ankle as you land, and lose 1 stamina.
Oh well.
But we are at the top of the stairs. You look around. You are on an upstairs landing with doors on either side. We can go to a library or a bedroom.
Let's go to the bedroom.
You step through a doorway into a simple bedroom. The bed is unmade and looks as though its owner left in a hurry. Personal effects are scattered all over the floor, as if the place had been ransacked, which it probably was. A cane leans by the bedside. You see nothing else of interest.
Look at the cane.
The cane is a simple straight stick, with a leather loop at the top to slip around the wearer's wrist. It does not look like any sort of weapon, and it does not appear to be magic.
Take it.
You take it, although you cannot think what it might be for. A second door leads further into the house, or you can return to the stairwell. So we can check out the bathroom or go back to the top of the stairs.
Check in the bathroom.
The further door leads to a bathroom. There's nothing in it, not even a mirror. Only a gap where one used to hang. The only fixture is an empty iron bathtub in the middle of the tiled floor.
Look under the bath.
You crouch under and peer under the bath. Something darts at your face and you leap back.
Run my sword under the bath?
You draw your sword and swipe it at an arc underneath the bath. It comes away clean. no blood, and no hidden treasure. You head out of the small room.
The hell was that? Alright.
You return to the bedroom.
Stairwell and library.
You return to the top of the stairs. You return to the library. This is a library in darkness. At the far end, a pair of eyes stare back at you.
The hell? Who's there?
You call out. The creature at the other side of the room makes no reply. In fact, it makes no sound at all. The distant eyes have not yet blinked.
Look at the eyes.
You step forward boldly, your own eyes fixed on those across the room from you. They do not blink. They do not even move as you approach.
Stare it out.
You stop and try and stare the creature out. It is agonizing work. A minute goes by and still neither of you have blinked.
It's a fucking statue. Why is this idiot still staring at it? Like, I was
Keep staring.
hoping it was a... fucking hell. It's a painting. I knew it was something like that. It's like, and your only options are stare at it, threaten at it, or, like, pretend you're an idiot and not, like... I was like, no, just approach it. If it's not going to respond, approach it.
Well, I mean, you have the choices that you're given, man.
Damn it,
it's
Steve.
Not totally D&D, but whatever.
All right.
You keep staring until your eyes begin to ache. The eyes do not react. Then, you see why.
It's
They
a
are the
damn
eyes
picture.
of a large portrait that hangs over the far wall, in shadow, but for a dim sunbeam falling through a gap in the roof above. Would you like to look at the painting or go back to the top of the stairs?
Let's go to the painting.
The painting is of a proud and stern-looking man dressed in loose leather armor, with a serpent emblem stitched along the length of one arm. The painting fills the entire wall of the room and must be twice the height of the man who posed for the likeness.
Good grief, that's a huge painting.
It is.
I guess look behind the painting?
You raise one corner of the frame from the wall and peer up behind it, but it is too dark to see if there's anything hidden there. The eyes of the painting seem to follow you as you move.
Look at the man.
You step back a little to regard the man in the picture. The most striking thing about him are his eyes, cold and cruel. They seem to gleam with cunning and the will to survive. They are the eyes of a man who would harm you if it suited him, knowing full well what it was he did. Otherwise, he stands tall and proud, with one hand on the hilt of a sword and the other wielding a tiny dagger. Everything about him reeks of power and of threat. The picture must be of the man that lived in this house. For anyone else, it would surely cast too long a shadow to live beneath.
Lift the painting down.
You grab the base of the painting between outstretched hands, then heft the frame up and off the hook that holds it to the wall. There is a moment when you think you have it under control. Then you are holding the true weight of the picture and begin to stagger backwards.
I guess drop it?
Oh. But the weight of the frame is too much. You let go of the painting and it crashes to the floor, landing on your foot. You howl in pain as the painting teeters, then tilts until it is leaning once more against the wall.
My character is a moron. Can he not do anything without injuring himself? It's a damn painting. Don't drop it on your foot. Just let it fall.
But I mean, it was the length of the entire room or whatever.
Like,
it's an enormous painting.
Why are you taking it off the wall? Just lift it from beneath and look under it. Oh, damn it, Steve.
I don't know.
Alright, look at the end wall. There's gonna be nothing there. Nope.
You look over the wall where the painting had hung, but there is nothing else of interest, just this dark outline.
Yeah, I figured. Alright, leave it.
You turn your attention from the portrait. There is nothing else in this room.
Top of the stairs, go downstairs.
You walk back out into the hall. There is nothing more to explore up here.
Now, will it let us go back?
We'll see. You return down the stairs, which seem quite normal now, back to the lower hall. There does not seem to be anything more here to be discovered. But we can return to the study.
Okay.
Would you like to?
Yeah, return to the study room.
Return to the study room.
Back into the hearth. In the fireplace.
You creep back into the fireplace to the stone dead end, where the grooves in the stonework radiate out from a small hole. The strange wall at the end of the hearth is just as you left it.
A keyhole?
You look for something else to try.
Insert the walking cane. I figured that may have had something to do.
You raise the walking cane and slip the tip into the small hole in the back of the fireplace. It fits perfectly. There is a click, and for a moment, nothing happens. And then, very slowly, the stones begin to move. A passageway has opened to your left.
Enter the passageway.
You peer through the secret passage, but can make out nothing but darkness beyond. You will have to go inside to find out what you have discovered.
Alright. The secret room. It's a crypt.
Slipping through the narrow opening, you find yourself in a slightly wider space. The walls are cool stone, and there are no windows. But the room is not dark. In one corner, an idol stands on a small shrine lit by 2 candles which burn with thin, cold flames. This place reeks of death and decay, and the shrine is covered in thin, blood-soaked strips of cloth.
Look at the shrine.
Look at the shrine. The shrine is poor and cheap, unlike everything else in this house. It seems to have been hastily built out of uneven stones and a plank of wood, and the small statue of a fat god that sits on it has been molded from humble clay.
Look at the god.
It must be some local deity. At the base of the statue is the name Korga. Above his head is a plaque with a short inscription, and on his face are painted 4 red dots. You glance behind you, suddenly terrified that the secret door might swing shut and leave you trapped in this place.
Read the inscription.
The inscription is scrawled, as though in the hand of a child. You have to squint to read it. Give me back my eyes. You were starting to get the jitters down here.
Look at the dots.
Dots on the idol seem to have been daubed with a fingertip. They are perhaps directions on how to worship the god, but there is no indication of what to do, or in what order, only the places. Both eyes, the third eye in his forehead, and his mouth.
Look at the clock. A cloth.
You may want to write that down.
Let me get something to do that. 1 second.
Look at the cloth. The bandages are each an arm span long, and as deep as your thumb. Each is bloodied in 2 places, spaced a few fingers' widths apart. There are 30 or 40 such bandages here, running down from the shrine like streamers. Someone was injured for a long time.
Good grief. Guess search the bandages.
You sift through the pile of bloody cloth strips quickly. Something gleams from within the pile and you uncover a silver badge. It is the badge of a noble of Kare.
Take the badge.
The badge is solid silver and probably valuable. You place it carefully into your pack. There is nothing more to be seen in this terrible place. You slip back out of the small room, out of the fireplace, and into the hallway. Did you get your thing written down?
Yeah, I've got it. I believe so. It's, God, it says, give me back my eyes. Dots on the idol seem to be daubed with fingertip. They are perhaps directions on how to worship the god. No indication on what to do or in what order. Only places, both eyes, third eye, and the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Then you've also found 1 new clue.
Which is interesting. So there's apparently a mystery attached to this, a walking cane.
Other items on the right there, on the left there.
Yeah, and then
that's
clue.
a walking cane. But clues. You found Korga's 3 eyes. The ritual of Korga involves his 3 eyes, the left eye, right eye, and the third eye in his forehead. So we got something out of it.
Interesting that they're including a clue of some sort.
Mm-hmm. Compared to the little room you've just left, the dark and empty hallway seems welcoming and friendly, but not so much that you plan to linger. There does not seem to be anything more here to be discovered.
Alright, let's go. Leave the house.
This house is home only now to ghosts. You hurry back out of the door into the sunshine of the front garden.
Well, it's still daylight outside.
Outside, the sun is shining brightly. It's almost the hottest hour of the day. Would you like to look at the fountains? the path at the back, or go back to the main junction?
Check the fountains. See if there's
Sure, why not?
any more stuff to be found here.
Fountain by the door is still bubbling. Cupping your hands, you drink a deep mouthful and feel much better.
Okay, so I was like, why are you just randomly gonna drink some... Okay, yeah, go to the path at the back then.
Mm-hmm. But it did revive our stamina. So,
Alright.
You follow the path around the back of the building. The rear is simply boarded up and secure, with no new ways in that you can see. There's a low stone wall, partially ruined, through which the path continues, turning into a track that runs away through fields. So, we can follow the track down this way.
So that goes
to the
out
main
to the
road.
main road in the farm area. Alright,
Yep.
so yeah,
or
let's go back
we can
inside.
turn back to the house and go up the way towards Dwarfton.
Yeah, let's do that. Back into
Alright,
the
we're
yard.
going back to the
and
yard.
Go up into the
The fields of Kare will be slow to cross, and no doubt filled with snakes and spiders.
Oh, good.
You turn back and return to the street outside the old house. There's nothing more to do here. You head through the front yard of the ruined house and out onto the main street. The horse at the post whinnies and shakes his mane. Would you like to look at the horse or follow the main road up to
Let's
Dwarfton?
look at the horse.
Okay. You approach the horse. It snorts nervously, wary of your presence. You might be able to calm it, or even talk to it, with the correct spell. Would you like to steal the horse, talk to the horse, or cast a spell?
Cast a spell. I'm not sure if we've got the right spell for it. I don't think we do.
Alright, we have... Hot, we can cast a fireball at it. We can become invisible if we had a ring. We could talk to it if we had a green-haired wig.
Yeah, don't have the wig.
We could make it sad. We could check if there's danger. And that's it.
Alright, go back. I like how one of the options is throw a fireball at it.
Alright. What would you like to do?
I guess maybe try to calm it down, talk to the horse, but since we don't have it... Oh.
You try a few words in the common tongue, and a few whispered in the more gentle language of your boyhood in the Chawberry Wood. The animal listens with its ears cocked, giving you a strange, distant look. But of course it does. It is a horse. But it appears calmer in your presence now. Perhaps you've made a friend. Would you like to steal it or leave it?
There's no indication, like, it's just a horse sitting out here randomly.
It's just a random horse sitting there.
And no
like,
one
who
else
knows whose horse it is?
No one has grabbed it yet.
No one's grabbed it yet.
Well, if none of these
So maybe it belongs to someone important.
Yeah, and if these thieves haven't touched it, then we're not going to touch it.
So you're going to leave it?
Yeah, we're going to leave it.
Alright. You do not need a horse in Kare anyway. So you step away from that horse and leave it to itself.
Yeah, I don't want to, like, steal some fancy pants noble's horse. And it's like, oh, gonna wreck your shit.
Exactly. Follow the road past the grand house, and a side road appears on the left.
Let's look left, but we're probably gonna move on.
Looking left, you see an arch. Beyond that, a wide yard. As you watch, a guardsman walks past.
Yeah,
We can
let's
follow
keep
the main
going.
road or go into what looks like some military barracks.
Yeah, that looks like it's the training area, so we don't need to
Follow
deal
the
with
main
that.
road.
Nope. Okay, yeah, follow the main road. Tyler.
Yeah, I gotcha. I'm good. As you press up the road, you notice the huts either side are getting smaller. The roadway is now bustling with dwarves and other small fellows. It seems from the contemptuous looks you are receiving that the inhabitants of this sub-hamlet are not kindly disposed towards human-sized outsiders.
What the hell
Do you want to keep going
is that?
or walk on your knee?
That is so fucking condescending. I mean...
It's like,
It's like... Not
hey down
threatening.
there, little fella. Let me get on your level so I can talk to you, right?
Yeah, that is so, like, that is not politically correct today, I can tell you that. That's like if you saw a small person, dwarf, call you in real life, and instead of, like, greeting them like a normal person, you get down on your knees and waddle towards them. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Right.
Yeah, no, we're gonna keep going, because, like,
Gotcha.
they would either laugh or they would get really pissed off, and
Yeah.
I'm afraid they would get super pissed off.
Maybe. Anyway, you walk on, smiling down at the people you pass. You reach the middle of the dwarf ghetto, a small square with a general store off to one side. Further up the street, you see a small crowd gathered around two scuffling creatures. Would you like to enter the store, go over to the crowd, or walk on?
Enter the store, we still need rations.
Yes, and we shall enter that store next time on CharacterSelect. So thank you all very much for watching. Click that like button down below if you want to. Subscribe, ding that bell, etc. Now,
Yeah.
what you looking for in the store other than food?
I don't know, we'll see what they have, but damn it, Steve.
Damn it, Steve.
Like, that is going to be the, that's going to be the meme for this fucking game, I can tell.
And we still haven't made it that far, have we?
No, this is a much longer game, I can tell, and if this part 2 is only through the city, that's significant. So,
Yep.
Because we haven't even reached the halfway point of the bridge, so that's...
Nope. But maybe we will next time, who knows? So, bye!